Good morning everyone, my name is Josh and I'm a guide at andBeyond Kirkman's Camp and andBeyond Ngala River Lodge in the Sabi Sands Private Game Reserve in South Africa in the Kruger National Park. If you were to look on a map of South Africa, right in the northeastern corner, that's where the Kruger National Park is, and the Sabi Sands Private Game Reserve is on the western edge of the Kruger National Park. So this is a map of the Sabi Sands. We're in the bottom right hand corner, right up against the Kruger National Park boundary. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the most iconic trees in the African landscape, but especially here at andBeyond Kirkman's Camp and andBeyond Ngala River Lodge. And that tree is the Marula Tree. The Marula tree is easily recognizable, usually by its bark. So you'll see here the bark has a sort of grayish, mottled appearance, and even from afar you can easily recognize it from that, as well as the shape of the tree. It has a very, very distinct shape with a big round crown, and it often has a prominent fork about sort of midway up the tree. The leaves are also fairly recognizable. They are compound leaves and they have quite a beautiful shape. Probably one of the easiest features to tell that you're looking at a Marula tree is to actually look at the fruit. The only trick is only the female trees bear fruit. And the fruit is what really ties the Marula so closely into the African landscape, because the elephants eat the fruit and are the main disperser of the tree. So around the trees you will often find piles of elephant dung, and a lot of them will contain anywhere from 50 to 60 Marula nuts. So once the fruit falls to the ground, the elephants eat the fruit, and it passes through their digestive system and it gets digested a little bit, and that helps with breaking apart certain parts of the fruit, which will allow for easy germination. Then of course when the elephant drops its dung, the fruit is deposited with fertilizer, and sometimes you can see up to 5 or 10 little Marula trees germinating through the elephant dung. And so the link between the trees and the elephants is really close. That's not to say that the tree can't germinate just by dropping fruit on the ground. It can, but this may take a little bit longer, sometimes up to 6 months. Baboons also disperse the fruit sometimes. It's even said that rodents will sometimes grab the fruit and move it away to a stash, and that can help germinate it too. The real trick is breaking open the capsules which enclose the kernels on the outside of the fruit. If you can break through these, it gives the fruit a good chance of germinating. Some other things that it's traditionally used for by the local people here is the usage of the bark. You can make what we call a decoction of the bark, and if you sort of boil it for a long time and then drink this decoction afterwards, it can help with upset stomachs. And you can also use the fruit to make Marula beer. Traditional beliefs say that if a family wanted to have a daughter, then they need to drink the brew of the female tree made from the bark or the leaves of the female tree. And if they want to have a son, they need to drink that same concoction but from the male tree. What we're really talking about here is actually the inner layer of bark, and you can see it on a lot of different trees where elephants have in fact taken this bark off, and you can see this beautiful red color underneath, and that's the stuff that is often used. To be honest, one of our favorite parts about this tree is the way it's structured. The beautiful low sloping branches makes the perfect tree for leopards to lie in. The bark is nice and soft as well, so any leopard climbing up the tree will not damage its claws in any kind of way. Sometimes you can even see the little scratch marks going up the tree where a leopard has ascended and then descended the tree afterwards. And then the branches are low branching and low hanging and perfect for leopards to lie in. And so for us, that's another way that the tree really adds to our safari experience. Probably one of the things we get asked the most by our guests who come here on safari is, do animals, elephants, baboons, do they get drunk whilst eating fermented marula fruit? And it was highly contested. Or a little while ago, someone did some research and said there's no ways that an animal as big as an elephant can eat enough fruit to become drunk. The amount of alcohol inside a fermented fruit that's landed on the ground and fermented, the amount of alcohol in that would never be enough to make an elephant drunk. Even if the elephant were to eat 100, 200, 300 marula fruits a day. And recently, some other scientists have actually done some research. Elephants cannot process the ethanol that is produced in fermented marula fruit. And so, there is a chance that even an animal as big as an elephant could exhibit slightly interesting behavior when they've consumed too many fermented marula fruits. All of that together, the bark, the fruits, all make this tree one of the most valued trees in South Africa. And for us here at andBeyond Kirkman's Camp and andBeyond Ngala River Lodge, it's certainly one of our favorite trees to chat about with our guests. But I hope that you've enjoyed this section on marula trees. And for now, we're going to say goodbye, and we'll see what tree we have to tell you about next week.